Would you rather build a team around Ant Edwards or SGA?
Damn. This is the only.
No, that's the perfect word. This is one of the hardest questions you're going to put to anybody.
This is the only way I personally can answer this question. If you're talking about just basketball, I got to look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Simply because, do y'all know that he's on pace to average? I'm talking about average 30 on 50% shooting this year. I mean, I'm just looking at him right now, okay? There's only one other guard in NBA history who has done that. That would be Michael Jeffrey Jordan. That's the kind of pace Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is on.
I want to play this video to start to illustrate a problem I have with the way the players get covered today. I think Lowe recently did a great job covering the topic on his channel where he's basically just reacting to Stephen A. Smith, and where every time we talk about a current player, we always have to refer back to guys that played 40 years ago or 30 years ago, just to basically make that the standard that they have to live up to, and it's tiring. So I'll put that video in the description if you guys want to check it out. I think that video, it's definitely a video you would love. So I'm going to try to talk about Shai without mentioning Michael Jeffrey Jordan or even Kobe Bryant as guys that people like to compare him to. And that's because, quite simply, he's doing things that both guys have never done in their careers.
It's so frustrating to play this team because they foul a ton. You know, they really do. They foul all the time. And then, you know, you can't really touch Shai. And it's a very frustrating thing, and it takes a lot of mental toughness to try to play through it.
There's this ongoing narrative in the NBA circles that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a free throw merchant.
Minnesota needed some size here for the final minute 40.
That's the crowd chanting free throw merchant. It's made its way to NBA games. What was once something you would only hear on Twitter is now basically making its way through NBA broadcasts.
I'm sorry, Coach Fitch, but yes, Shai was with me early on, and we did teach him how to draw fouls, and he's a master at it. So you should be frustrated with this, but he uses his ability to score, to get to the rim, to get to his mid-range, and he catches guys slipping. Like, it's a game within the game.
It just brings me back to when people were saying the same thing about James Harden, including me, by the way. And it's one of those pervasive narratives that could easily ruin the perception of a certain player.
Big time troll. I gotta be careful. Big time troll.
What did I do?
Why when I go to the free throw line in the Madison Square Garden, all I hear is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at the free throw line. Like, bro, let me lock in, bro.
And I see why people would think, oh, he's just getting his points off of free throws. Because when I look at the NBA advanced stats, he leads the league in scoring. Let's see here. Free throws attempted. Shai is number 2 in the league in free throws attempted. Only reason why Giannis is not the leading scorer today is because he shoots an abysmal 58% from the line, while Shai almost at 90% on less shots than Giannis. Now, him attempting 8 free throws a game might sound like a lot of free throws. I'll be honest, it does. But he's averaging, what, 32 points per game? I wonder just how many of those players does he stack up to that average 32 points a game? Does he attempt the most free throws all time amongst players like that? Now, shout out Denver, who's also on YouTube under the channel Double D Worth. Amazing channel, by the way. You guys could check it out. I know a lot of you are already familiar with his content, but I just thought I should shout him out because he made a banger tweet here. Since the NBA-ABA merger, there has been 21 instances of a player averaging 32 plus points per game. And these are the seasons ranked by free throws attempts per game. So as you can see here, no Shai in the top 3. Okay. Where does Shai rank, you think, amongst the top 21 players in the association? I'll give you guys a couple seconds to just answer the question. Let's just say he's at 15. He's 50th all time in free throws attempts per game amongst players averaging 32 plus points per game, which to me it's safe to say that he's not really a free throw merchant like people think he is. Now, if I were to go to StatMuse and look up most free throws attempted per game amongst players averaging 32 points since the NBA-ABA merger, well, you would get this list here. And yeah, like Denver said here, these are the players that have done it. You see Joel Embiid's name pop up a few times. James Harden, Luka Doncic, Michael Jordan, Kobe, Bernard King, Kevin Durant, Jordan again, Tracy, Dame, and then Shai in 2025. Look, let me tell you something, okay? Luka, Jordan, George Irvin, and Michael Jordan in previous seasons were the only players with a lower free throw rate. But let's just say throughout NBA history, modern NBA history mostly, we would see Shai not really as a free throw merchant. You'd have to call Kobe Embiid, Jordan, Luka, Harden, Embiid. I know some of these people already get called free throw merchants, but you would have to call other players that aren't normally accustomed with that label.
30 on 50% shooting.
30 on 50% shooting. 30 on 50% shooting.
Now, Stephen A. Smith, he's right, okay? The only guard in this list of players averaging over 30 points per game on 50+% shooting that is higher than Shai's field goal is Michael Jordan. He's right? You would have to go through all these bigs and then get Michael Jordan as the first name, and then Shai's right under, slightly under Jordan. But I don't know if you see this third line that I added. It's true shooting percentage. Michael Jordan, 60% here, 61% here. Shai, 63.6% true shooting. I think true shooting is a better stat to reflect how much more efficient Shai has been this season. More efficient, in fact, than Michael Jeffrey Jordan had. And a big part of it is a three-point shooting, of course, and the free throw shooting. I mean, he's just so efficient at both areas. Who, when you look at Jordan's three-point percentage, I mean, it's at 27% here, 31% here. And the free throw shooting, I mean, it's at 85% here, another 85% above that. So Shai is shooting better from the line and from the three-point line than Michael Jordan is. And by the way, that's from 2023, 2024, bro. In 2025, Shai's doing it under better true shooting percentage, which is actually wild. He's having a better percentage true shooting, and that's because his three-point shooting has been better this year, and his free throw shooting has been better this year. And of course, the only guard that is above Shai in true shooting percentage, averaging 30 points, is none other than Wardell Stephen Curry II. And shout out Isfandir. I'm not trying to pronounce his name, but he did a crazy tweet here that shocked me, that blew my mind. Apparently, Shai's shooting 60%, right? This was December of last year, a couple months ago. He was shooting 60% on nearly 15 two-point attempts a game, and only 11 players had ever done that, and one of which is Shai, who is a guard, being the only guard that's ever done that. Up to that point, we had seen something that no guard has ever done. And look, he can go in and say, he's not shooting that anymore. He's shooting 58%. Yeah, that's true. He is. On over 15 shots this time around. I'm pretty sure if you were to filter it by 57.5%, that he'd be the only point guard. The usual suspect in Michael Jordan, well, he's never shot over 57% in those sample size, right? He's shot 20 shots a game in terms of two-pointers, but he's never shot even over 56% on twos, okay? And while Steph Curry, he has shot 60% on two-pointers at one point, but it was only on 6.6 attempts a game. Shai's shooting 15+ attempts, and he's shooting almost at 60%. He's as close as anyone could be, shooting over 10 to 15 shots a game. And he's a guard doing that. It's actually mind-blowing how efficient with the amount of volume. It seems like what Curry is to the three-point revolution, Shai might be in terms of just the two-point efficiency that we've seen. It's unprecedented. And when you watch him play, it's very obvious as to why he's so efficient. He is so good in terms of pace. Guys have a hard time guarding him, and that's simply because he plays at a pace that nobody can defend. And just the masterful skill that he has in shooting and just being overall efficient. That's why you often see people compare him to Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, with Michael just being one of the most efficient we've ever seen at the guard position, and Kobe Bryant just being one of the most skillful, tough shot-making guards we've ever seen. Shai, I get why people compare him to those guys. Shai seems to be a more refined, more effective version as he's shooting better from the three-point line than either guy. But even in the pull-up game, everything down to catch and shoot mid-range, he's more efficient than those guys too. And his team is on a run right now that is quite frankly just insane. OKC as it stands right now has the #1 rated defense, and that is with their main defensive anchor Chet Holmgren missing a ton of basketball games this season. And it's with Isaiah Hartenstein, who's their other big that they would usually play in those minutes. Let's see, this season, how many games has he missed? Oh, he's missed a lot of the initial season, and now he's missed a little bit, but it's not been a consistent lineups of bigs. I'm not a guy to bring up net rating for an individual player, right? Or an individual team a lot of times. But this is one of the exceptions because what Shai is doing with guys like Chet and Jalen Williams not even playing whilst he's on the floor is is basically at a super team level. The 2017 Warriors had a 22.9 net rating. And that's with Steph, KD, Clay, and Draymond on the lineups. So essentially, when their death squad is on the floor, they have a 22.9 net rating, which is unprecedented even back then. Shai himself not only has a better net rating than those guys when he's on the floor, but it's a better net rating when he's on the floor without Chet and Jalen Williams. Do you know how insane that sounds? And whatever you just thought that sounded more insane, it probably doesn't even sound as insane as that. And because a guy like Nikola Jokic is having an unparalleled season himself, it overshadows a bit what Shai's doing. And I get it. He's averaging a 30-point triple-double. And quite frankly, the team's still doing really good. And they've lost key pieces to where Jokic is seemingly having to carry a team that is not nearly as good as the OKC Thunder team without Shai. And the fact that Jokic is he keeps on putting himself as an MVP candidate every year to the point where it's getting harder and harder to ignore him. It's just a testament to his greatness. Which is why when I saw this tweet, I had a laugh. I couldn't stop laughing. Okay, the MVP has never been more obvious. Now, this is a Nuggets fan. So he's basically making a case that because Jokic has the biggest swing and on-off rating, right? He has a plus 20 net swing, which is higher than any player on this list right now. And I know people are looking at LeBron James, who actually has a negative on-off swing. That's not good. But Shai, the thing with Shai right now, he has a plus 18 on net rating. Do you know how fucking ridiculous that sounds? Do you know how rare, exceedingly rare it is for a player to even achieve those heights? I want you to understand, this isn't to take away what Jokic is doing. This is simply to illustrate that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, as on the court, their team is 18 points better. Their team is already stacked with players that can play great without Shai, which is why they're just 0.4 better when he's off the court, meaning they still win the minutes without him. But the fact that they're that much better with him on the floor, a team that's already so good without him, it's insane. Jokic's team is minus 8 points worse when he's off the court, which again is just a testament to how great of a floor raiser and ceiling raiser Jokic is at the same time. It's just crazy. Like the words, I'm losing ways to describe this dude, Jokic, bro. I'm gonna have to make a video on this dude again for the third or fourth straight year because this guy is just bending. He's bending physics. Bro, this guy is just bending the world to his will, it feels like. But even the guy as world bending as Jokic has never had a season where on court, he's a plus 18. He's been a plus 12 before, right? Just like he's a plus 11.9 this season. He's pretty close to his all-time high on court. This season, he's a 20.3 net swing, which is impressive in itself. That is the highest in NBA right now. I'm pretty sure it's one of the highest ever. Bro, the fact that they're 18 points better with Shai on the court, 18 points better. It's a 17-point swing now. It's like, what do you want the dude to do? How much more does Shai have to prove? Do you know how crazy that even Jokic, as great as he is, has not had an 18-plus on-court net rating? Do you know? I'm running out of words to describe this, okay? So I'm trying to just make you understand just how unprecedented of a season Shai's having right now. I think that's what I'll end it, bro. Like, this dude Shai's mind-bogglingly good. He's so great. I just want to illustrate that without having to mention Michael Jeffrey Jordan as, the standard. He's doing things that, quite frankly, we've never seen before. We've never seen before. I'm not kidding when I say that, by the way. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check out this previous video that I made. All right, peace out.